Good afternoon. I'm going to mix it up a little bit and stand up over here. I have a demonstration. My name is Bonnie Cajon. I'm the Director of Operations for a nonprofit in Detroit called the MORE program. And our program was philanthropically funded. We were created and funded to build an online resource tool to help connect entrepreneurs and small businesses in Michigan to all of these wonderful available resources that are there for them. So I want to thank CEED for inviting me to talk about that today, and I want to congratulate all of you for taking the time to show up and learn about the resources that are available to you, because in the last 2.5 years that I've been doing this job, which is a great privilege, I've roamed across the state and identified all kinds of excellent things like the free counseling and the classes and the financial management guidance and the export assistance and the things that federal agencies and state agencies are offering, but also all kinds of other programs that you don't hear about as often. Business resource centers at public libraries where they'll help you do some of the market research that's necessary to get your business plan ready. All kinds of different things. If you're a food business, there's a lot of opportunities for ag and food education. There's retail services. There's services if you're high tech. There's funding opportunities, networking events, you name it. And we have done our very best to identify all of those and to inventory them in a way that we can create a database that helps kind of match people to them. So I like to say we're kind of a little bit like Match.com for resources and entrepreneurs. There's a number of different ways that you can find it. I will preface by also saying we're entrepreneurs as well, and it's a startup. So we are doing the same thing that you're doing. We're coming out with an idea, we're throwing it out there, testing it a little bit, figuring out maybe that it doesn't work as well as we thought it was going to, so we're going back to the drawing board, we're changing it up a little bit. We're constantly innovating and trying to make this tool better, faster, stronger. So right now we're working on ways to make our matching more sophisticated so that if you come to the system and say, I'm a retail business, this is my product, this is where I'm located, that we get you right down to the resources that are available to you in your area with your product in your specific industry. It might not work exactly that way right now, so I ask you to be as patient with me as your customers and lenders and clients are with you while you're learning and growing. But I'm going to show you a couple different ways to find it. I left some things on the back table. I left a stack of my cards with my contact information, and on the back is the login address for our default Insight site. There's also some of these cards, are a little bigger, kind of talks about the kinds of resources we've inventoried, places you can identify equipment. If you're a small food business and you need to start batching things up in a commercial kitchen and you don't have the money to have people come to me and say, I need a loan because I have to buy some commercial kitchen equipment. We don't really have to buy that if you can find a place to borrow it while you're ramping up, right? So we're identifying places like that to help you. If you're a maker or a tinkerer, there's all kinds of hacker spaces around. One of them has recording equipment, so if your project is in the arts somehow and you're looking for, you need that equipment, you don't have to buy those things just yet while you're ramping up if we can help you find where you can borrow them or lease them temporarily, right? So this kind of lists a little bit of the different categories of resources that we've tried to identify, and these cards are on the back table as well. On behalf of one of our very strong partners, TechTown, I also brought these, and I'll talk a little bit more about what this is advertising in a minute, but TechTown is offering a retail-specific boot camp starting up probably sometime in January. I don't think they have all the details on here yet. It does say January, but it doesn't say what the date is, but it gives you the address for how to track and follow when that is coming up, and I'll give you a little more details on that here in just a second when I do my demonstration. So again, you can find the Insight tool on our own default space, which is right here. This is a free tool, I should say. I did mention that we were philanthropically funded. It's free for entrepreneurs to use. It's also free for our partners to host. So what I would really ask is you could come to this site anytime and log in, but really because you came here and you identified this resource through CEED, I would ask that you actually create your free account and your free login through the CEED website. If you look here on their very front page, you see this little button, Business Resources for Entrepreneurs. That's us. And if you click there, it opens up and it's branded as a CEED tool. All of the information that you would get here is the same information that you would get from any one of the other portals that we've created. And we have 50 portals across the state right now. But the reason it's important for you to come in through CEED is because then we can identify that you were a CEED client or that you identified this tool through CEED, and they have that information. They get a monthly report that says this many people logged in, this is their email address, and this is what they were looking for. And it's not because we all want to pester you and start spamming you with information. But if we know what you're looking for and we know a little bit about who you are, then we identify like a really cool resource out somewhere that might be of interest to you. We want to send that along. Right? And CEED wants to kind of track and say, hey, I saw that you logged into Insight and you were looking for, nonprofit startup assistance in Midtown. Can we help you identify some resources that will get you going? So that's the only purpose of why we track your login information and why we pass that along to our partners is so that people can help you in a way that is relevant to you. And if at any time you don't want to get any more resource information from me and you don't want to follow my Twitter, then I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, so here you go. You can create, you log in, it's free, start here. It's a pretty simple process. You need to, put in your email address and a password. I think I've just set this down to type here, so hold on quickly.